Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another Minecraft video, and in this one we're going to take a look at the Piston House. Now for anyone who's been on my channel for a little while, you may remember the first Piston House I ever posted. It went down incredibly well, a lot of people really enjoyed it, and then I uploaded another Piston House that went down even better. In fact, it's one of my most viewed videos on my channel. Then I uploaded another Piston House, and then a few more piston houses, and unfortunately the concept began to get just a tiny bit boring. Now don't get me wrong, people were still really enjoying the videos, but I was struggling to think of redstone contraptions to fill the houses with, which meant that I unfortunately had to stop the series. Now, just under a year has passed since the previous piston house, and I am filled with redstone contraption ideas, so I've created this latest one right here, which I think is pretty epic. Now I think a fairly obvious place to start in this video is with the exterior of the house, and I just want to mention that this was actually designed by me, which may seem really quite surprising, because as you guys know, not the best builder in the history of Minecraft. Generally speaking, I tend to struggle with that sort of thing, and I definitely struggle with houses, especially ultra modern houses like this one, but I decided to set aside a few hours on my weekend and actually get to work on some purely decorative building, and I think I've done a half decent job. I mean, it's not too ugly, it doesn't make me want to vomit, which is always a positive thing. We're using plenty of spruce wood, quartz, we've got some stone bricks, some really big windows that allow you to see right the way through the house, which is a very nice feature indeed. And if we take a look around the back, I feel like it all fits together quite nicely. I mean, it's not awful. Let me know down in the comment section if you do think it's awful. But anyway, the most important thing about this build isn't the crazy exterior, it's actually the crazy interior with all the redstone contraptions that we have going on in the inside. Now you may have noticed we've got a rather large perimeter fence going around the outside of the property, but there is no obvious entrance to this thing. There's no big fence gates or any gigantic doors or anything like that. It is quite simply a couple fences here with some sticky pistons underneath. And that is because when we hit this button right here, these fences actually drop down into the ground so that we can pop on through. Now you may be sat there thinking, how on earth does this block power anything? It's floating above the ground, but that is because this piston right here is actually being constantly updated by this redstone, which means that when this button powers that block, the piston will detect it due to the bud powering principle, and it will actually extend, causing a redstone signal to go through to these pistons. I know it's incredibly long-winded, but I personally think it looks really quite cool. Anyway, up here we have got ourselves some invisible pressure plates. We can walk over those and the doors will open, and that will take us through into the cloakroom. Now as you can see, these two armor stands, they've already got some coats on them, so what we have to do is swap them out and we'll get ourselves a fresh armor stand and we can place our coats on top of him. Nice and easy. As far as the entrance is concerned, that's pretty much everything other than this rather wonderful painting back here, so let's just pop through into the kitchen, and as you can see we've got a few more redstone builds going on, including this rather interesting looking thing that I'll be getting onto in the next couple seconds. So first off, we've got this oven right here. We've got a few side areas so we can prepare all of the food that we're never going to make because this is Minecraft. We also have a sink, a few brewing stands so we can make some drinks, and most importantly, we've got ourselves a working freezer that is filled with raw fish. I'm sure I'm going to be preparing that later on, and someone has been doing plenty of fishing right here. I mean, that is hours upon hours of work, so I think that deserves some credit. But anyway, if we pop through into this area, you can see we've got ourselves a working television set. We hit the button, that turns off the TV, and we hit the button once again, and that turns it back on. And then off to my left, we have got my working redstone digital pet. Yes, I know, it's completely ridiculous. This right here is a virtual Mumbo. It's the closest thing you can possibly get to a real-life Mumbo in the form of redstone lamps, and various different redstone circuits that we'll be taking a look at in the next couple seconds. Now he has a happiness meter. Right now he's pretty happy, but he will eventually get unhappy due to the way that the system works. So the way that we increase his happiness is by throwing him diamonds, redstone, stone slabs, roast chicken, and TNT. Those are the 5 items in Minecraft that really do make Mumbo a happy thing. Now if you take a look at all of the redstone behind it, you can see we've got plenty of things going on down here. We've got an item sorter which detects all of those different types of items. That then sends a redstone signal through into this line right here, which goes into this comparator clock. That comparator clock then runs through into this dropper right here, which will send items from this dropper into this dropper, which will increase the happiness because we've got a comparator running out from this, which takes a redstone signal strength from it, and the more items inside this dropper, the stronger the signal strength, which means that it will be happy. It will show a happy face on the screen. However, we also have this hopper clock over here which periodically powers this dropper right here, sending items from that dropper into this dropper, which decreases the redstone signal strength, and if the signal strength gets too low, then unfortunately it will show an unhappy face, which means that Mumbo is in fact sad. That's how it works. Now I get it. That was a very confusing and complicated redstone creation explanation, and I will totally understand if you totally didn't understand. And if you don't understand redstone at all, well, I apologise because that probably all sounded like white noise. So if you do want to take a closer look at this world and perhaps have a look through all of the redstone systems, then there will be a world download down in the description that you can check out for yourselves, or alternatively, if there are plenty of comments, I will consider doing a tutorial for this thing because it's pretty sweet, and I'd love to see it popping up in a few more builds in the future. But anyway, we are now going to pop upstairs and take a look at what's going on up there. We're going to use our translocation piston elevator, which will suck us through the floor. And here we are. Now, there's nothing too exciting going on up here. We've got ourselves this redstone lamp and also this double bed right here. But this redstone lamp is really quite interesting. When the light is on, you can't sleep. As soon as the light turns off, like to the second, as soon as that light turns off, that bed becomes active. And it's actually done using comparators. One comparator sort of takes signal strength away from the other comparator, and it makes it extremely accurate, which I think is pretty amazing. Finally, onto the last room of the house, and that is the bathroom. Now, due to poor house design, it's right in front of this gigantic window, okay? And that is the toilet right there. Can you imagine being sat there doing your business and knowing that anyone could just stare in? I don't know if that's really for me, personally, but hey ho, we also have a sink right here and also a shower in this corner that works wonderfully. In fact, it works almost too well. It's a very, very strong shower. We have plenty of water falling down right there. You get drenched instantly. That's it. Anyway, that is everything done. We hit this button, opens up the door. We can hit this button right here. That drops us down a level. And then we can pop back through and take a look at what's going on in the garage. I will just warn you, don't get too excited for this one. We flick the lever and the garage door opens. We don't really have too much going on. We've got a car. It's a lovely car. It's run-of-the-mill, you know, your average car. It's nothing too exciting. It's not exactly like a McLaren P1 or anything like that. I would say it's like a Ford Fiesta. It's good. Not thrilling, but it's definitely a good car. So that's that. The garage is now done. Flick the lever. Garage door closes up. Absolutely wonderful. This piston house is all done and dusted. I hope you've enjoyed this little piston house tour experience. I personally had a blast building this thing, and let me know down in the comment section if you want to see more of these piston houses, because I'll be more than happy to crack on with them. But unfortunately, that is all I've got time for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.